Elon Musk's role in government is costing us billions and not even saving us millions. In partnership with Donald Trump, Elon Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, launched a sweeping campaign to fire tens of thousands of federal employees, claiming it would cut waste, fraud, and abuse and streamline government, which, by the way, that's what we all wanted, right? I mean, who wouldn't want that? We all want government waste to be cut out. But this was all a sham because Elon and Donald are excellent marketers. We've been fooled. Heck, Donald did a whole reality show on it called The Apprentice. Do you remember that? Why didn't we learn from that? Hi, I'm Lorena, and I'll admit, I used to watch it. The show emphasized the importance of presentation and persuasion, which are critical aspects of marketing. Contestants were judged on how effectively they could market products, create buzz, and lead campaigns rather than having in-depth business strategies or business knowledge or even ethical decision making. Don't you remember the show highlighting drama and conflict? The entire focus was winning the task at any cost rather than ethical practices or even who got hurt in the whole process. It seems it was a foreshadowing of what has become reality. I mean, it's reality TV, what has become reality in our government today. So instead of DOGE saving taxpayer money, their actions have led to illegal firings, court-ordered reinstatements, and a growing financial burden on everyday Americans. On March 13th, 2025, federal judges ruled that the firings of nearly 25,000 federal workers was unlawful. Courts ordered that these employees be reinstated with back pay, meaning now we're footing that bill for months of wages for work that wasn't done, all because of political theater and poor judgment. This is the very definition of waste, not to mention any potential lawsuits that will follow. I mean, just wait for it. People are going to sue for being illegally laid off. They were actually let go. They weren't laid off, but it turns out it was a layoff. So are you okay with footing that bill? I mean, they deserve the money. I have no problem for them suing for the action. I have no problem for us paying it to them. But this should have never happened in the first place. Should the people that actually did this be held accountable, meaning Elon and Donald? Something to think about. Here's just a glimpse of what Musk's DOGE has cost. 7,600 employees were fired from the Treasury Department. The Treasury Department oversees the IRS, cutting back thousands of staff. And before you get too excited, hey, I don't mind IRS being cut back. Here are the effects of this action and why it should be important to you. It slows down tax return processing. It causes longer wait times for the refunds. And I don't know about you, but if I'm due a refund, I want it in my account as soon as possible. Less staff leaves us taxpayers struggling to get help or correct errors because they make mistakes. So it's already hard enough to get a hold of anyone. Now it will be nearly impossible. Now many more tax fraud and identity theft cases will actually slip through the cracks. Audits of high net worth individuals and corporations will drop way down. It'll allow more tax evasion. This alone will cost billions in tax revenues. And by the way, the majority of those that were fired, those that were targeted to be fired, they were specially trained to audit these high net worth individuals. That seems rather self-serving of Elon. They didn't fire the ones that are going to be auditing you. They fired the ones that would be auditing the billionaires. This team of dedicated auditors have a proven success rate of collecting from the wealthiest people because their skills were highly specialized, and now they're the ones that are gone. Many mistakes in processing will go uncorrected, and that's going to hit us ordinary taxpayers the hardest of any category. The IRS is an agency that determines eligibility payments for Social Security. So that's another threat to getting your hard-earned Social Security money. The IRS also handles federal employee and veterans pensions, income verification. So again, slow down there. And those stimulus checks or energy relief refunds are also handled by the IRS, again, hitting the average everyday American. He also laid off 5,700 from the Department of Agriculture. While these firings may not have made headline news, it has a wide-reaching impact to all of us everyday Americans. The USDA runs SNAP, which is food stamps, and WIC, which help over 40 million low-income Americans. So the backlogs that hurt families relying on help, to get food on the table, it will disrupt nutritional support for millions of children under the school meal programs. It will cause administrative slowdowns in verifying eligibility and funding for the schools. It will increase the burden on already strapped school districts. I mean, the Department of Education is already being gutted out, and this is in addition to that. It's going to delay payments or loan processing for farmers and rural communities. We need those farmers. Our food comes from them. This is also going to interrupt disaster relief for droughts, floods, or crop failures. With fewer inspectors and support staff, unsafe food could slip through the cracks. Outbreaks of foodborne illnesses could increase. With everything else that's going on, we don't need this added issue. We really don't. The bottom line is our trust in food safety will erode, as if things haven't eroded already. Elon has also slashed over 3,200 people from the Health and Human Services Department. HHS oversees major public health agencies like the CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. This should really scare you. The NIH, the National Institute of Health, the FDA, Food and Drug Administration. With fewer staff in all those agencies, disease surveillance and outbreak response times will slow way down. Vaccine distribution, development, and tracking face delays. And I get it. Some of you right now are tuning out and you say, I don't really believe in vaccines. But what about health research funding and oversight is reduced, impacting cures and treatments for diseases already known and already here. The HHS plays a lead role in emergency preparedness, think COVID-19, monkeypox. And if you don't believe in any of those, they also help curb our opioid epidemic, which we absolutely have. And that is critical. So with fewer experts and response staff, health emergency could spiral out of control before being contained. Critical public communications may be delayed or inconsistent or just not even there. Does any of this hit home with you? Is this something you could consider being a problem for you or your loved ones personally? He went on to slash the Department of Veterans Affairs. The VA has already terminated 2,400 employees as part of the initial phase of the workforce reductions, but the plans are to cut an additional 80,000 positions to return to 2019 staffing levels. How is that okay with you? The impact on veteran services has led to disruptions in services, including mental health care, causing longer wait times and appointment cancellations for veterans seeking assistance. Is this really how we choose to treat the people who've put their lives on the line to defend our democracy, to defend our America? Veterans deserve better. Yet since the layoffs, there's been numerous reports of suicide and preventable deaths. It's sad. These tragedies have been linked to delays or denials in the medical care they've urgently needed. They were already low on staff. This just made it worse. And there has been hundreds more laid off from additional federal agencies. And then there was the attempt to dismantle USAID starting on January 24th, 2025, referring to it as, I don't even understand how these words came out of his mouth. It was referred to as a criminal organization. These words matter. What is criminal about it? And if it were criminal, where are the arrests or court filings to prove that? The federal court blocked this action on March 18th, 2025, after all the damage was already done. To this date, March 24th, 2025, the Trump-Elon team have not fully reinstated the programs that they were ordered to restore. Now, are you okay with an administration that defies the rule of law? If our president doesn't have respect for our three branches, the legislative, the judicial, and the executive, then we no longer have a functioning democracy. We have a power grab. Are you okay with that? And if you are, how are you going to feel when the next person comes in office that may not be of your political party? You may not agree. What happens when they have that same power? Is that something you would maybe want to think about? Hopefully we can all see and all agree that no matter your party affiliation, this is not efficiency. It is waste and chaos and a lot of illegal behavior, now confirmed by multiple legal rulings, which will cost us much more than any reported savings, which, by the way, have never been proven. We have zero proof of any legitimate savings by DOGE. For instance, DOGE reported canceling an $8 billion contract, which was later revealed to be only $8 million, a significant discrepancy that undermines their credibility, and they still haven't proven that. All this, and American workers are illegally terminated and left in limbo. Elon Musk's companies have continued to benefit while all of this is going on. He's benefited handsomely from the very government agencies he's supposedly cutting down. So to reiterate, what has Elon Musk cost us? Well, he's cost us court-ordered reinstatements, back pay for unlawfully fired workers, potential lawsuits from those affected, operational disruptions across essential agencies like Health and Human Services and all the others I mentioned earlier, costs of litigation and administrative turmoil, billions in government contracts awarded to Musk-linked companies under his own oversight. Public trust eroded while oversight and ethics protocols were bypassed. Firing of critical personnel, notably the heads of Ebola response team and the nuclear safety programs were among those dismissed, raising concerns about the government's capacity to effectively manage critical health crises and nuclear security. And all Elon can say is, oops, mistakes are going to be made. That's not okay. Minor mistakes, of course, we all understand that, but these are major mistakes that should have never happened. Meanwhile, Musk companies have kept winning at our expense. Here's an example. Tesla paid zero in federal income taxes in 2024, despite earning $2.3 billion in U.S. profits, and he paid zero. How is that okay? Tesla's 3-year tax rate averaged just at 0.4%, thanks to aggressive accounting tactics that those IRS agents, like I said earlier, would have been able to scrutinize. How much was your tax rate during that same period of time? SpaceX and Tesla have secured over $20 billion in government contracts. Musk has avoided a formal background check while accessing our sensitive information as well as sensitive government systems. And the real slap in the face, the misuse of our White House for an infomercial for Tesla. Remember, I started this video with, they are masters of unethical marketing. The two Musketeers were bold enough to transform the White House South Lawn into a makeshift Tesla showroom, effectively using government property to promote Musk's private enterprise. How does this lower your cost of goods? How does this bring interest rates down? How is your life better because of this? You personally, maybe the billionaires, they've been winning through this whole process, but you have not. Please take a look at that. So when Musk and Trump claim they're saving taxpayers' money, let's be clear, they're not. They're laying off essential workers, triggering legal battles, and then paying the bill with your money, including commercials from the White House, all while their own companies profit and avoid paying their fair share. This is not fiscal responsibility. It's reckless, self-serving governance. And Elon's response to this criticism, he has the audacity to dismiss our protests and boycotts as irrational, stating that he has done nothing to harm others. I think this video has brought up thousands of cases where he has caused harm, and I hope you can see it. His role in mass firings, misuse of government platforms for personal gain, and questionable financial practices have had tangible negative impacts on public servants and taxpayers alike, everyone, again, regardless of party. If this makes you as angry as it does me, make sure you call your representatives. Let them know where you stand. Your voice matters. I practice this each and every day, including weekends. Our voice does matter, and it's more powerful the more of us that speak out. Thanks for chatting today. Please don't forget your bonuses in the links below this video, and ciao for now.